Alright YouTube, what's up? Hope y'all been in the gym. Welcome back. We're here to talk about Balthier's FR. Coming to the game real soon. The leading man, he's coming with a rework for Golbez, and Rem is getting her force enhancement. Before we get started, y'all know what to do. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Leave a comment down below with what your plans for the banner, the event, all that good stuff, and your reductions take of Balthier. I'm going to say that Balthier, he is a gun Yuffie, because he steals the buffs. What else does he do? He cleanses. So he's a gun. He's a reverse Yuna, a reverse Yuna Yuffie reskin. How does that sound? All right. Anyway, y'all know what to do. This is before you pull Balthier's FR. Let's get started, shall we? And member up and subscribe, all that good stuff. Balthier, if you're not familiar with this kit, he is a ranged offensive support. He provides party and self debuff cleanse, party cleanse on his LD, and self cleanse on his EX and skill 2. He also steals the enemy's buffs. When I say steal, I mean, so if the enemy has an attack up, that is now Balthier's attack up, and he extends the duration as well. He will take that, which has some pretty funny interactions. With his rework now, the steal count got up to 3, I believe, on everything, which is nice. He also provides good party buffs via his LD overhead, like the normal attack up, HP damage up, brave damage up, etc. Stuff you like to see in a character. So he's a good all-rounder, and he's got decent damage. I think LD has 6 HP attacks and EX is 5. Skills aren't as good, but that's to be considered. So a decent damage upgrade all around. As for his FR, it's interesting. You get 40% when you attack an enemy without a buffless enemy, if that's the right way to use that. It's 20% on a ranged attack. So right here, if you're just bringing ranged characters, it's a pretty easy generic ranged FR. However, you get 80%, a whole ass 80%, when you dispel a buff from a target. This is once per action, and it includes off turn. So if you got someone who's off turn dispelling like a Vanille Trap or an Orin with a Vanille Sphere, or Beatrix counter, that will get you 80%. That's huge. This ability also cleanses the party, and it steals 3 buffs from the enemy, and it is instant turn rate. So characters you might want to pair with Balthier, for example, would be Ferris, because she's got to dispel Cloud, because he can dispel buffs with his World of Illusions weapon. Vanille for dispels on and off turn. Sid also brings dispels via his skill 2, I believe. Yuffie dispels on her LD skill 1. Beatrix has dispels off turn and on turn, and then Orin, who is a popular pairing because you can place a Vanille Sphere on him in the off turns and have him counter and get that 80% for free. So, well, not for free, but you know what I mean. So, moving on. Evaluation wise, Balthier is very well rounded. Like, he's got party buffs, he's got this decent damage, and he's got his utility of party cleanse and stealing buffs. So he can fit a lot of roles. He's kind of that good third slot we like to talk about. It's a strong niche when you need Balthier to take enemy buffs away. He's really good at it. Really good at it. Best dispeller. And he's got a good generic ranged FR. So if you're running teams like Barrett, 9 warrior, like you just want to run a range character, Cloud for example, and you're not really sure who to pair them with, Balthier's FR for range characters is pretty much free. And he has a high FR ceiling, because if the enemy buffs themselves a lot, and this is really niche, and I haven't done enough research, full disclosure, to really know how often this would be useful. And when it is useful, it's really useful. Check out some of Sephi's videos where he used Balthier and he just absolutely smacked them. But it's not as accessible. So it kind of leads into my weaknesses. His ceiling is boss reliant. I'm not going to say he's bad if the enemies don't buff, because that's not true. Because if you're just doing range stuff, 60% a turn, that is fine. That is good numbers. That is what we like to see. But it is a weakness that when bosses aren't buffing themselves, you're not really reaching his potential, and that'll bug some people definitely. Additionally, this is more of a gripe than anything. His FR dispels the enemy's buffs, right, and steals them. That's annoying, because if it was instant turn rate and didn't dispel, then you could get an 80% off the bat after using his FR. But since it takes the enemy's buffs away, that's like a FR increase potential gone just from the FR attack. I mean, it's good and bad, you know, like maybe they have an annoying buff and the FR attack will dispel it, but at the same time, he's lost out on some increase there, so that's slightly annoying. But otherwise, I can't really think of a weakness for Balthier. He's kind of, I don't want to say unremarkable, but I kind of want to say unremarkable. He's in a spot of being like good all around, you know. But let's continue on to the other characters on the banner. Golbez, this dude's sprite is huge. I had to like shrink it like crazy and it barely even fit. That's mad. But Golbez is a dark, say it, melee and magic damage dealer. He imperils himself, he enchants himself with dark. He's all about the dark. He's brave damage focused, so not really a lot of he brave gains after his turn, but on his turn he has the stolen brave up thing where he's taking more brave than he's doing on the hits. His EX and LD with his rework got up to like, I think his LD is 7 HP attacks and his EX is 6, so these buttons hit pretty hard. And he got a recast up too, so I don't know if it's a 1 skill recast now. It might be, I haven't tested it, but just it might still be 2 skills, but it's a little bit faster. I don't know how that is in practice. And his BT aura, if you decide to green him, which I don't recommend, it's an enemy freeze. It's an aura based, so the enemies cannot gain brave at all. And this can be, you can end up using some cheese strats with this. I know Bar used to do this back in the Fenny Plus, but I mean, once again, that is a pretty niche. Golbez overall, he has issues with that being dark damage focused, and especially we are what 3 out of 18 fights in the lockout, so we're 1/6 of the lockout period. So in practice, it's not a huge deal. Like we'll be fine afterwards again, but is he really bringing that much to the party other than damage, especially with it being element restricted? I don't think he's that great, unfortunately. Still. Lastly, we have Rem. Rem is not getting a rework. She's not getting anything new except force enhancement. She's a magic offensive support. Her main thing is party turn swap. She's got burst heals and HP regen for the party, so she'll keep you healthy. After she acts, she has a follow up, and then she gives whoever's next in the turn order a 1-turn buff that gives them like massive like HP damage, brave floor. It makes you a nuke basically just for 1 turn. But the thing about Rem and her force enhancement is that because they know her follow-up was baked into her kit, she doesn't charge as well as someone with, because she has 2 dead skills, but because she has the follow-up attached, it doesn't charge as well. They nerfed it a little because of that, which is slightly annoying, but it's understandable why they did that. And lastly, her damage right now is not the greatest. She's really there to be turn swapped, and Lufenia, this worked well, but Shinryu, where you want to get the most out of your button presses, I don't think Rem is quite there, unfortunately. And I think the follow-up is counted after the turn swap happens, so you're getting like a nerfed, it's like a nerfed gauge charge turn when you press turn swap or something, and then you don't do as much damage afterwards. So yeah, Rem's in a bit of a weird spot right now, unfortunately, but I think because she buffs, she could at least hit Luna Freya's FR maybe, but yeah. Rem's BT is coming up in JP though, so that'll be interesting. So bringing it all together, Balthier's FR. Before you pull, what do I think? What's my opinions on the banner? What are my plans? This is for people on the fence who can't decide. If you got someone your favorite, you already know what you want to do, go for it. Don't let me stop you. But, you know, if your resources are tight and you're kind of on the fence, and I always say if you're on the fence, usually probably means skip. But if you don't have Renoa's BT yet, this is a fine banner to go for it on if you already have Aerith and Kurasame, because I'd make sure you have them first. What am I doing? I'm looking at these Fujin, Vayne, and Liud FRs sitting in my inventory that I got hunting down the remaining LDs that I didn't have, and that was just a stupid decision. Now I have no tickets, absolutely none in the bank, and I'm kind of interested in Balthier. I'm not sure how much I'd use them. At minimum, I want to use them with Barrett, but I also have 1,000,000 gems, so like why not, you know? Well, my purple tokens, my high power stones might take a hit too. Anyways, so I'm on the fence about Balthier. I might wait and see how my Minwoo pulls go, because I'm gemming Minwoo, because that banner is good for me, and then I might come back to this banner. What would I recommend for everyone else though? I think if you're on the fence, you should probably skip. Again, Balthier's got a strong niche, and when he works really well, he works really well. Like there's specific fights, like what, the Garnet Force FR fight. People probably gonna just run Garnet and Terra there, to be completely honest. But you know, that one buffs itself and he claps it up. I think the Beatrix fight, the Beatrix IW, but people are hardly gonna go with Beatrix. I think a lot of the situations where people might want that, they might either, because Aerith has been so hyped to hell, they might bring Aerith and they never see buffs in the first place. So if probably for most of the population, you're probably cool skipping out on Balthier, but he is good. I do maintain that, but having a high ceiling in certain situations and just being 60% a turn, while not bringing amazing damage yourself, doesn't sit too well with me. So I'm on the fence, kind of reverse convince myself to pull. I should have just said I convinced myself not to, but I had to be an idiot about it. Yeah, so if you're on the fence, I say this is probably a skip banner. Don't go for Golbez BT. I don't think Rem is worth chasing at this point either, unfortunately. It's a weird niche unless you're trying to enable specific FRs like Luna Freya. I can't think of any others, unfortunately. And Dagger, Ultimate Weapon, yeah, it's just not it. So on the fence, skip, maybe consider if you're capped on tickets, but I'd probably just wait until next month. Next month is going to be crazy too. That's probably another reason to skip. I got what? Minwoo, Hope, who I want, Celes, and RNA frame 1. So yeah, let me know what you guys think, your plans, give me your reductionist takes, what you thought of the video, and I'll catch you guys later. All right. Oh, and I'm not streaming this Wednesday either. I got stuff to do. All right. Peace.